I fail a rich student for plagiarism. 2 weeks later, her father became my unlikely ally 10 years into teaching English at Westlake High. I'd seen every excuse imaginable, but I.R. Reynolds' her entitlement to Olympic levels near cruise through junior year, submitting mediocre essays clearly written the night before. Her designer clothes cost more than my monthly salary, and she never missed an opportunity to mention her father's connections. When questioned about late assignments, her response was always some version of "my dad donates to this school." So, with a final paper worth 30% of the grade, she submitted an essay on Fitzgerald but made my plagiarism an alarm blare. The analysis was suddenly sophisticated, the vocabulary advanced, and the insights far beyond what she demonstrated all year. A quick search confirmed my suspicions. Paragraphs lifted directly from 3 different academic journals. When I failed her with a 0, the storm began. First came the tearful denial in my classroom, then the aggressive email demanding I reconsider if I valued my position. Finally, the dreaded call from administration. Mr. Reynolds requested a meeting with the principal, department head, and me. I spent the weekend preparing evidence and echoed my resume. Heidi's had been pushed out for less at Westlake. Monday morning, I walked into the principal's office, clutching my folder of evidence. By I sat was a confident smirk beside her father, gay man, whose name graced our science building. Mr. Reynolds, immaculately dressed, in a suit that probably cost more than my car, nodded politely as I entered. I laid out my evidence methodically, the original sources, the matching paragraphs, Thiave's previous work showing the stark difference in quality. Throughout my presentation, Mr. Reynolds remained silent, occasionally glancing at his daughter. When I finished, the principal looked nervously at Mr. Reynolds, clearly expecting him to challenge me. Instead, he asked one question: "Did you write this paper yourself, Jaya?" Her practiced defense crumbled under her father's gaze. "I used some sources for inspiration." "Did you copy sections word for word without citation?" he pressed. After a painful silence, she whispered, "Yes." What happened next shocked everyone. Mr. Reynolds apologized to me. "I'm sorry for wasting your time, Miss Chen. The 0 stands." He then turned to the principal. "I trust this won't affect Miss Chen's position in any way." I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. The following day, Mr. Reynolds appeared at my classroom door after final bell. "My daughter needs to learn that her actions have consequences," he said without preamble. "I lack your help." His proposal was unexpected. Dia would rewrite her papers legitimately, but it wouldn't count toward her grade. She would also spend the summer working in the public library's literacy program foundation. He supported financially but had never visited personally. "She needs to understand the value of original thought and helping others develop their own voices," he explained. For 10 weeks that summer, I volunteered alongside Dia at the literacy program in the city's underserved East Side. Fornay, sullen and resentful, she'd barely interact with the struggling elementary students. Mr. Reynolds would drop her off and pick her up himself, never sending a driver. The transformation wasn't overnight, but by week 5, something shifted. She developed a special connection with a 3rd grader named Marcus who loved stories, but struggled with reading. I overheard her telling him, "The ideas in your head matter. They're yours. That's what makes them special." On the last day, Mr. Reynolds arrived early and watched from the doorway as Zaya helped Marcus sound out words. I stood beside him, both of us silent witnesses to something neither had expected. "She's different," he finally said. "Thank you for not making this easy for her." When senior year began, Thaya May chose a seat in the front row of my class. Her first essay in How Literacy Creates Opportunity was entirely her own work. It wasn't perfect, but it was authentic. She earned her barre honestly. Last week, 5 years later, I received an invitation to her graduation from the School of Education at State University. The handwritten note read, "Some lessons aren't in the curriculum. Thank you for the one that changed my path. Sometimes the most important teaching happens after the failing grade."